Hey everybody, it's Moonbo here, and welcome back to more Endless Scrap Mechanic. In today's episode of Scrap Mechanic Creations, we are at the slow motion car crash testing facility. That is right, guys. This is an extremely creative build. It's something that I've wanted to do for quite some time, so it's really interesting. We got a car back there. We are going to be driving it into this block that I'm sitting on right now, and it crashes in slow motion. There's a few things involved with this build, so we're going to go over all of the different aspects of it and how it works in slow motion. It is so much fun, guys, so let's get right into it. Alright, so starting off from the outside of the crash test facility, you can see we have ourselves an entrance here with a couple little crash testing symbols. So all you gotta do is hop inside though, and you can see there is a track here in the middle. Now, the track uses a piston on the inside here, and that is actually what pulls the entire car towards the smashing block. So, of course, on here we got some nice strobe lights to warn people of the dangers involved. And this is the car over here, guys. This is a station wagon. I had a lot of fun actually making the car. So obviously I had to make the car, and then I had it turn into a crashable car. So that was a lot of fun. It was pretty creative. We can take the connection tool out here, and you can quickly see that there is a whole bunch of things going on. We are going to take a much closer look at each individual aspect of the crash in slow-mo outside of the facility. So how about we do a quick run through, and you guys will get the full effect of what it looks like. So we have ourselves the main seat right here that has a couple switches down in the bottom. So we can position ourselves to get this beautiful view right here like that. And we are going to pull the car in, and we're going to watch it. And maybe we'll do it one more time, and then we're going to take the car and bring it outside so we can actually examine each slow motion part. So let's do this right now in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. We've got the car being pulled towards the block. Oh boy, here it comes. It's almost there, and oh, now it's in slow-mo. Look at that. Wow. It's just beautiful. And there's actually quite a bit going on right here, guys, when it comes to the smashing of the vehicle. You can see, look at that, there is the antenna still wobbling around. There's even a crash test dummy on the inside that was bouncing around as well. So let's reset that, guys, and we're going to do it one more time, and then we're going to look at the car in detail. So we've set the hook up at the other end of the track here, and I have the car on the lift. So we have a little spot right there, guys. You can pop it down on the lift and maybe just lower it ever so slightly, and there we go. That will now sit on top of the two hooks right there. You can, of course, drop the hook down if you wanted to, but usually I just leave it up by default, and that way you can just drop it on the lift, and it is very easily hooked up. So let's run back to the seat. Alright, so we're going to do crash test number 2. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. We are going to start bringing the car all the way in. Alright, here it comes. Activating slow motion. Look at this. Now, I'm going to mention, guys, it looks like it's all happening really slow. Look, the lights slow down. Everything slows right down. But, guys, this is not slow motion. This is real. This is designed to look extremely slow. Look at that. You can even see there's the antenna still wobbling from the destruction. And the crash test dummy has his face in the airbags. And uh-oh, I'm getting eaten by this car right now. Alright, so before we start smashing this car even more, how about we take the lift right here, guys? Let's bring it outside just into the sunlight here, and that way we can actually see what is going on. So I'm going to go through each individual thing that happens, and then we're going to activate it from out here. So let's get that connection tool out again, and we can take a look at the controllers up here and what they're connected to. So we have a controller here. That one, I believe, is connected to this front little wheel well here. So this wheel well has a couple pistons inside of it, and it is designed to have this front panel pop out and then go over top of this wheel. You can even see, actually, this wheel here is designed to get turned around as well. We even have the grill being bumped in. There's even also bearings here that drop the entire bumper down there. Up here we have the crinkling hood, and this is pretty cool, actually. This is an invisible piece right here that has a bearing and the antenna attached. So that is how we get the wobbling effect there. We even have a whole bunch of bearings on this front windshield, and that front windshield will shatter into all sorts of pieces. And check it out, guys, we even have our crash test dummy on the inside. He is also on bearings, so he bounces around in there. And I believe there's one more thing, which is up on the roof of the car right here. Part of the mounting rack actually breaks off as well. So this entire thing is activated by a single sensor, which is located right here on the front. So if we take a look at this, you can see that it's set to about 8 right here, and the color mode is on and set to black. So that way, if you walk in front of it, especially, you know, if you're in here, guys, and you're setting it up down at the other end, the only thing that's really going to trigger it is this back wall right here. So let's actually trigger it out here for the sake of science though, guys, so you can see what this is going to look like. So I'll just grab some concrete. We're going to put it right up in the front here. Now, nothing is going to happen until we paint that section black. So why don't we position ourselves in a way that maybe we'll be able to see just a little bit more. But we'll bring up the paint tool here, and okay, we got the color black already selected. So we're going to paint this and then look at it really quickly. There we go. Alright, so there we can see the quarter panel on the front is being removed. The grill has been bumped back. There is the bumper. It has settled down on the ground. The door actually opens as well, and look at this. You can still see the door and the crash test dummy bounced around, and there is the antenna finally coming to a rest. So let's just kind of get a nice close look at this. Let's remove that right there. So nothing really happens on this side of the car. I decided to design it as a block that smashes the front left of it. But we can see here, there's all sorts of shearing, even some holes in the hood now. It's all bent back. The quarter panel on the front here that actually gets pushed over the wheel, I think, looks really nice. And if we take a look here, you can see there's the crash test dummy with his face in the airbag as well. So let's just do, I suppose, like a reversal of that entire thing by repainting another section black again. So let's do that right here. There we go. And now the car is going to slowly reassemble itself. So you can see the wheel there has put itself back. The front hood is back as well. It's going to go through a couple sequences first before it finalizes. There it goes. There's the hood dropping back down. And the crash test dummy, there he is. Look at that. He's bouncing in reverse. The antenna's going as well. And up on the top there, the roof rack has repositioned itself. So I'm really happy with the overall design here, guys. I'm actually extremely happy with it. It just turned out so much better. Oh, another thing too, actually, is the lights will turn off once it does smash. But there we go. Look, we can see the view of the crash test dummy and the door bouncing in sequence there with the antenna in the background. And this is all, like I said, just a bit of an illusion for slow motion. So let's grab this car again on the lift, and we're going to bring it back inside and talk about how it all works together in there. So before we mount the car back onto this track here, we can take the connection tool out here and we will see what is going on here. So this is, of course, like I mentioned, the main rail in the center that will pull the entire car. Now, how I made it slow motion on this aspect of the build is by using two separate pistons. So we have this piston right here that is set to a pretty fast speed, and then we have a secondary piston. And this is a piston that I activate manually once it gets really close to the block there, and this long modded piston has reached the end of its track. So it gives it that really slow pull-in effect. And it's absolutely fantastic because I also have these strobing lights mounted to some engines, and they're actually mounted to two different bearings here at different speeds. So you can see them all spinning pretty fast like this, but we have a little bit of logic here that will kind of flip-flop between the two different settings, and we have two sensors here at the end, which is also the section that activates the crashing of the car. So we can get a really beautiful example of this by stepping over the sensors. All we need to do is walk to the right here like that, and look at that, there we go. The lights are now going in slow motion, guys. Okay, but if we walk away from it, you can see that they speed right up again. So, if we just hop into the seat right here, we can just kind of see what it's like without the car. So if I press the 1 key, you can see the entire rail is now pulling the car, or what would be the car, into the block. And this is where it kind of happens. So it stops right there. So that's the moment that the long modded piston has reached its end. And then we have this piston here, which is hooked up to that controller right over there. So you can see by default, it is actually set to stay extended to 15. And when I activate it, that's when it will pull it in and give it that really slow effect. So you can see the speed difference between the two. If we press it, look how slow that one is. And then if we press the 1 key, look how fast the 1 is. So it's pulling in really, really fast. It gets to the end, and then I press 2, and then it will pull the car in ever so slowly into that block like that. And just in case the car, for some odd reason, doesn't activate the light triggering sensors, this little pillar here that locks underneath the vehicle, it will activate it, and no matter what, you will get the awesome slow motion strobe lights. So pretty much when you put it all together, it gives it this absolutely amazing illusion of having slow motion in the game. So why don't we reset this and do it a couple more times? Alright, we're all set up for another destruction test. So here we go, we're gonna start pulling the car in like that. Alright, it is cruising along, and so with all of the stuff that I mentioned, you will be able to see exactly what is happening. There it is. The lights slow down. The car crashes into the block. Everything gets crumpled up and smashed. And look at that, you can still see the car door, the dummy inside, and the antenna is still feeling the effects of the impact. And it just looks so cool. It really makes it feel like everything does happen in slow motion. And I feel like if I could set controllers down even slower, guys, I probably would. Alright, so we're just going to send the car back, reset it, and let's take another look at that one more time. Alright, so this time when I activate the slow motion, I'm actually going to hop out of this seat so that way we can see it a little bit closer up. So here we go. We are going to pull the car in like so. Alright, we are almost ready for some slow motion. Here we go, right there. Alright, slow motion. Watch this, guys. Look, it's all happening so slow. This is my favorite view here. You can see the dummy inside bouncing around off of the airbag. It is just so much fun. I've always wanted to do something that had some type of destruction, because obviously, guys, this game doesn't really have any destruction physics or anything yet. There is a good chance I'm thinking that they will eventually add it to the game. Until then, though, I cannot wait. But of course, we're just gonna improvise here and make some really cool creations. And I actually do have another idea for a really awesome destruction build that I'm gonna probably start working on pretty soon as well. Alright, so that is another episode of Scrap Mechanic Creations, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this build. If you did enjoy it, or if you enjoyed the video, then let me know by hitting that like button down below, leaving a comment. I'm always happy to see what you guys have to say about these builds. And if you enjoy the channel, guys, then consider subscribing. And if you want to stay up to date, then make sure you turn on your notifications, and you guys will see the latest and the craziest coming from me in Scrap Mechanic. So here we go, guys. We're gonna drive this thing in one more time, smash it all up in slow-mo. Look at this. It's coming in, and there it is. Oh, just beautiful. I could sit here all day watching this car smash up in slow-mo. So much fun. So thank you again, guys, for tuning in to Endless Scrap Mechanic, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. So bye for now.